Okay, this video is on pages in Fireworks, and we're going to talk about um, what are pages, and then secondly, um, how can pages be used. And pages in Fireworks are kind of basically what it says is a different page, and basically you can have several pages um, that are they're linked in shared resources, or you can have totally separate pages that are totally independent of each other, but all in the same Fireworks file. Okay, let me show you um, an example of how I might use uh, separate pages. Okay, so for example, here's kind of a silly design for a website, a fictitious bike shop, Tahoe Bikes, that I created. You can see there's a background image of the lake. There is some art over here and a kind of a logo, Tahoe Bikes, a phone number, some general pictures of people riding bikes in Tahoe. Here's a menu bar with a variety of pages to go to. And this is the home page, and the home page is going to be some sample text right here to talk maybe about the bike shop and what they do. Here's the left sidebar that has like a bike of the month promotion, a rental deal of the month. There's a right sidebar here that has some featured trails, and then there's a footer here that has alternate nav bar, as well as some information about contacting the bike shop. Again, this is a fictitious bike shop and a fictitious design. Again, I guess full disclosure, I've just found these pictures on the internet. Generally, you can't just take pictures from the internet and put them into your design unless they are open to the public, or you have permission to use them from the person who holds the copyright. But I'm not publishing this. This is just for educational purposes, so I've downloaded these just to put as placeholders to show you what the design can look like and how to use different pages. Okay. So I'm going to go over, and I'm in the compact mode because my screen is so small. So I'm going to go over to, I'll expand it out so we can see it for a sec here. I want to see the pages, states, and layers panel. In the previous videos, we talked about layers, and so we are now we're talking about pages though. Okay, but before we go to pages, I want us to understand how the layers are organized in this design. I have 4 different layers: the header, content area, the footer, and the background. Each one of those layers has one or more objects. Okay, you can even see here in the content area right now I have 2 sub layers, a left sidebar and a right sidebar. Okay, so for example, all the stuff contained over here in this sidebar is in this left sidebar sub layer, and all the stuff over here in this right sidebar is right here, all those objects. Okay, those are sub layers of the content area. Okay, so that's generally how the layers are set up for this design. So now let's get into the pages. Back to the pages. By default, if you don't add any pages, there is one page that comes with your design, with your Fireworks document. Okay, we can add pages, but by default, it shows a page number, and the name of the file, or the name of the page, excuse me, is called page 1. So I want to actually rename this to my home page, because this is my home. Okay. And we can use pages, because I can show, for example, maybe I want to show just a mock-up of a couple different pages. So this is the home page right here. But let's say that I want to do a mock-up of the rentals page. Okay. So if I want to do a mock-up of the rentals page, I can make a new page and do that from the page panel, the panel properties here, menu. I can go down to where it says new page. Notice I can also come down here and there's an icon at the bottom of that panel, new page. Click on new page and it will give me a new page. And I can go back and forth and notice right now that this new page is totally empty. It by default, totally empty. It by default has the same properties as the first page. Okay, so there's a white background and the canvas size is 1180 by 792. Okay. It has the default, but we can change that. It doesn't have to have the same width and height as the previous page. These are totally independent. In this particular case though, I'm going to keep it the same height because I want this to be as if it's in the browser and we're going to see two different designs, two different pages. There's going to be a lot of shared information though, so let's go back. You can go back and forth between your pages by clicking on the actual page name. So you can see we have home and we have page 1. We can change this then. We say we're going to do the rentals page. Okay, so we have a home and rentals page. Right now the rentals page is totally empty. Okay. Another way that you can go back and forth between the pages is if you have more than one page, let's pull that menu right here at the top of your document window. Allows you to go back and forth between the pages. So you don't have to be on the page menu here, or excuse me, the page panel here to go back and forth between your pages. You can do it right here as well. Okay, so right now we have two pages. Rentals is totally blank, and home has a whole bunch of stuff on it. So I want to go to the home, make sure I'm on the home page. And when I go to the layers, these layers are specific to my home page. If I go to my rentals page, all I have is the basic web layer and layer 1 with nothing in it, the default layers, okay? But if I go back to home, that's where all my content is on my home page. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to share from this page to the next page. Like for example, everything in my header. Let me compact that. Everything here in my header is going to be the background and the header are going to be on the rentals page. Also down here, I'm going to have the footer on the rentals page. The only thing that's going to be different is the content area. Okay, so let me show you how I can share these resources here, these pieces, these objects, which are on a particular layer, to other pages. Okay, I'll go back to my layers panel, and I think I have to unlock it for right now so I can select it. And right now you can see that the header, which includes the nav menu and all the other pieces, all of this stuff over here, okay, and including that line, that's all part of the header. Okay, so we can take the header and we can share it across pages. Okay, so to do that, I can either, while it's selected right there, I can click on my panel menu, and I come down to see where it says share layer to pages. And there's two ways of doing this. I can share it to all pages, or I can share it to page by page that I have control to. So I'm going to show you this way right here because this is a little more complex, but not too bad. So I'm going to say share layer to pages, and so you can see right now that the home page is where the layer is, and this one is excluded from it. So I want to click on rentals and add it, and now it will be included, and I click OK. So now, because the header area is shared, if I go to my rentals area, the header now shows on the rentals page. Okay, let's go back and do a couple more of those layers. Go back to home. my layers panel, and now that it's shared, I'm going to lock it back. Content, remember, content is going to be different on every page, so I'm not going to share that one. Footer, I want to share that to both, so again, I can do it before, like I clicked on the panel menu here, or I can right click on footer, and I get the same menu. I can say share layer to pages, select Reynolds, add, click OK, lock that back, and do the same thing with background. Right click on background, share layer to pages, and we're going to add the rentals page, lock that back. Okay, so now everything except for the content area should be on my rentals page. Here's a issue that's come up. It looks like we got some of the stuff on there, but we're missing the header and the footer. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. I think it shared it across it, but because of the order that we shared it in the order, so I'm on the Reynolds page now, go to layers, and it put it in the reverse order. So now my background is on the top, footer is in the middle, and header is all the way at the bottom. Okay, so I want to grab the header and bring it up, grab the background and bring it down. Sometimes this gets a little, there we go. Okay, so now I've got my layers in the correct order on my Reynolds page. So now you can see that I have my background, I have my header, and as I scroll down, I have an open content area right in here that I can place the stuff specifically on the Reynolds page onto this, and then I have the shared footer. Okay, so now that I'm on my Reynolds page, I can take my layer here that's specific. This isn't one that's shared across, and look at the icons right here. These icons right here show that it's shared across different pages. Okay, so this layer right here is not shared across pages. This is the layer that's only on this page, and I'm going to call that rentals specifically, so we know that that one is going to contain objects specifically for the rentals page. Okay, and I'm just going to put something on the page for right now. I'm going to put a rectangle, use the rectangle tool, and I'm going to put a sidebar right here, and it's below everything. I need to put that above my background. There we go. Okay. So there's a sidebar right there, and I can start putting some stuff in here about different rental bikes that we have and so on. Okay, but I want to show you that right there, this one right here is only going to show up. It's on my rentals one. That's not the one. It's the layer that's not shared. So because of that, if I go to another page, that excuse me, that box that we put on the rentals page does not show up on the other pages because it's not shared. Okay. Now I'm back on the home page. On the home page, I have my header. You can see that's shared, footer shared, background shared, but the content, whatever change in the content, is not going to be shared across back to the rentals page. Okay, this is not shared. We didn't share it.